Hi, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. This is Prarie High School, Air Force AFJROTC, their armed exhibition routine, and congratulations on the first place. That's fantastic. Alrighty, here we go. Slight movement phasing, but really well done. Nice job. That was a great opening statement. Let me go back here. Hmm. There's something going on there. So right here, this cadet, and I'm not picking on you, just trying to find out what's different. I'm looking at the whole team, but something drew my eye to you because you did something different, and what we don't want is something different going on. And look how a couple of the team members are already turning, but not, but it's inconsistent. So something has to happen here for to be more effective. Yeah, he starts marking time before everybody. His step is lifted higher. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch this like another 20 times, but I'm going to pause this so you don't have to watch me watching you. All right, hold on just a second. Okay, now I know what it is. And it didn't take 20 times, it only took about 6. So the cadet in the middle is toe striking, and everybody else is heel striking. So I heard the difference, and I also saw some kind of difference there. So you've got to eliminate your toe strike. So what you're doing, and I'm addressing the cadet that's in dead center there. So as you're coming up to that position, you're putting your toe down first, which is that slight tap sound instead of the heel strike. The tap sound comes from the platform of the shoe striking the surface, and not the heel, which is most likely some kind of rubber, maybe some man-made material, some kind of rubberized plastic even. So the steps, if you hear the steps, you can hear, then all of a sudden, tap. The tap is what you want to eliminate. It's got to be heel strike. I understand what you're doing. You're coming into your position, but you have to heel strike and move forward, roll forward, come into the mark time. It wasn't your foot being raised higher, it was just a different technique being applied. All right, so let's move on. Great job. That's really effective there. So you're letting your rifle rest. You have the butt slam and you hold it there, but then you're bringing your rifle slowly down, but the other two are not. The layered effect is good. So is the staggered effect. I saw the second element. Yeah, very nice. Oh, so middle cadet, you're the commander. So perfect positioning. That's great. That's very, very good. I've written about this before, the integration of the commander, and that is the perfect spot. Really well done. You know, marching backwards would add so much to the difficulty there. Nice little drag of the foot there, slowing the tempo down just a bit. That was well, yeah, I like that. Very good. It's a dramatic effect there. Excellent job. So I noticed from from your initial turn, right there, I noticed as soon as, let's go a little bit earlier. So see the the spacing, and it even widened up a bit more with that turn. So you can see the spacing is larger here, and then it's still larger, and then as you march away, see it's still larger. So I mean, if you're going to hold that throughout the routine, I don't know why you would, but if that's your intention, okay, then that's fine. But if your intention is to have a square formation with even spacing all around, then that's something that you need to address. Oh, okay. So recovery there, just went to right shoulder a little early. That's all right. You know, things happen. Almost, almost. Good recovery there too. So, couple of mistakes. That means a little more practice is necessary. Effective. You've got some effective work there. So, why mark time? Was that to get your spacing, get your alignment, and then move off into the? I thought you were moving for the long line here. But see, then you mark time and increase your spacing. So, my question again is, why the mark time? And getting, it seems to be, it seems that you're moving really small, or at least that was my anticipation, that you'd move really small and then do something using that, but there doesn't seem to be any purpose here. So how is this effective for the team? How does this enhance the routine? And the answer, at least from my judging and viewing perspective, is it doesn't enhance it at all. Still a couple mistakes here and there. Oh, see, so then you move out. So it would be better than if you really wanted to, but then it would make it a little more difficult to. Yeah, so there's an issue whether I would say don't compress at all. Don't do that mark time at all. Just move out to your single file line here, your company front. Um, do that automatically, facing and then move out, and you then move into the center element rank. It really doesn't matter which way you're facing with an exhibition drill. And so when you do that, then you can get there and space out. Or you could do a step 2 movement. And a step 2 means you step off every 2 steps. There's a step 1, a step 2, step 3, 4, you can do multiples. Step 2 is quite common. So you have, excuse me, you have, it wouldn't be the 4 ends. So you have your elements here, and then you have your 2 ends who are going to move first, and they step off, and 2 steps later, it's left, right. So that next 3rd step, there was 2 steps. Now you, on the 3rd step, then the middle 2 start. Well, they'd be like this. So then they start, and then another 2 steps, and then the back 2 then step off. The issue here would be you're spacing out the ends. You need to space out the middle, and so and I'm not going to take the time to brainstorm for you, but if you want me to, I can do it offline. That's not a problem. But it would be a little better than marching in place and trying to expand there. It would be part of the routine instead of you trying to set up a portion of the routine, setting up your what the silent drill platoon calls your. So look at the different technique here. What the silent drill platoon calls the long line. So look at the elbow here, a little bit of a bent wrist. When you have this nice straight elbow, fairly tucked. So we've got a little bit of here variation of technique. Whichever you choose is fine, not a problem. This is exhibition drill. You can do the old-fashioned, I call it old-fashioned. The Army and Air Force don't do it anymore. The salute technique, either shoulder, whichever you choose, or you can just do the regular right, left shoulder, arms movement. A little bit late there. I appreciate the ready cut, honestly. That was the slow, methodical movement. So varying the speed back and forth, that worked well. Nice. Nice. Having both ends do that. That worked well. So what I wanted to go back here. Nope, I want to go back here. So right here, instead of the stomp, what you could do, and I try and eliminate the unnecessary here. And just an opinion here, I feel that the stomp is unnecessary. You can program in something different that would work just as well. So as everybody is coming up to there, as everybody's coming up, as soon as they hit right shoulder, they drop the left hand and look to the left. And then when he finally executes his, instead of the stomp, what he could do is he brings his hand up, his palms turned out, which is interesting, but okay, that's fine. Cushioning the blow on the shoulder, and then he can bring his hand straight out and then smack the thigh, smack and close that palm, and then that smack, everybody looks forward and then does this. So step out or no. He stepped out. So if you're going to have the same technique, like the rotation, it needs to be the same throughout. That was an excellent job moving into the cordon. That worked really well. I appreciate that. Commander moving to the back and the three splitting to include the two in the middle. Nice job. What I would suggest is that you perform to this and not just think of it as, okay, now we have the long line, we finished that, so how are we going to get to the cordon? All right, here's how we're going to get to the cordon. And you do it, and that's fine. But that's all you're thinking about is leaving the 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 long line here and then making your cordon. And and I think what you might have done is forgotten that you can perform to this instead of just move in this position, make this position, now do some moves, and then the next one is move to, whatever the next position is, and then perform. It's not perform, move, perform. It's perform, 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 and then do something in that new position. Okay. I want to watch that again though. That was really good. So here, center, I really think you did what I call Navy exchanges, and the Navy exchanges are cool. They really are. So it's a version of the Navy exchanges. It's what Constantine Wilson did. He created that years ago. It's actually a facing movement. It's a half facing movement exchange, and then come back. Your feet do this, and then come back. And then he taught that to the Navy Ceremonial Guard, and that's why they do that. And that's where I got the term Navy exchanges. So you did that. And it's interesting. It gives the the audience the perspective of going back and forth, but not side to side. And it would be effective to not have the three in the middle just staying there. It's not that you're just standing there. You're doing something, and that's good. But it would be really nice to give the audience the perspective of here's what happens this way, and here's what happens this way. Now, having said that, I know that most of your audience is probably from your school, parents, helpers, whoever, other drill teams. They're watching most likely, and this is nothing new to them. It's not surprising. Some might find it interesting if they're freshman, sophomore, and they haven't seen this before, but it's always good to think of your audience as if it's just the general public. And so you want to not necessarily impress, although that is part of it, but it's giving the audience something to see from the two different perspectives. And I think that's where you want to where you really want to go with this. That really works well. But performing to that would really work well. And you step in as well. All right. Oh, okay. So, let me hold on. Oh, crud. Good catch on the sling, though. All right, I want to skip ahead. I want to see something here. It is. Okay. All right. So, Commander, I want you to wait going through because of this. Watch. So, you've created a tighter formation, which is awesome. That you do an exchange nice and wide, and then you step in and you do some more work that only works if you're closer, and that's great. But here you are, Commander, and you're just this is not a it's not a negative personally towards you, but you're blocking the whole thing. You haven't thought of this part of the programming, and so you have the two lines and then this big wall. It's I was uh, uh, critiquing. I was critiquing the fish drill team of Texas A&M University yesterday, their 2025 performance, and I did this. I put this in front of me. This would be ridiculous for me to talk to people like this, but it's essentially a wall in front of me. Moving it out of the way, you can still see it, but I'm able to communicate more effectively. So you're a microphone, Commander, right there. You're the microphone blocking everything that the audience really needs to see, because this is good stuff. Don't block it. So what what I and here's my suggestion. They step back. And I also suggest tape uh, as a secondary method of attachment, just to make sure that sling detachment doesn't happen, and then you have somebody who's marching around at port, and that sucks. Or you have a supernumerary with an extra rifle, and they run in real quick and change the rifle, and you're good to go. Then you have to make sure that the SOP allows something like that. Even an adult volunteer just run in real quick with a rifle. Um, anyway, tape might be the best thing for that. So you get to here, and then you move. Okay. So I'm going to pause again. I want to think about this. So I don't want to just tell you not to do something and then not give you an alternative. So hold on just a minute. Okay, it took me a minute to find a place and the step back. So here, the first two or last two, depending on your perspective of the cordon here. Here, the first two take their step back, and then the next two, then the next two. But you guys, at least you didn't really step in all that far, so it looked a little wonky. Then the last two step back. That step back is when you need to come through, Commander. I think that would be much more effective. It still has the element of danger there, and you could even throw in another exchange if you wanted to. And I noticed that there's a couple of cadets. Somehow both of you got sling detachment syndrome going on there. So making the choice to continue spinning, it's a bit dangerous. It really is. I understand that you want to have as effective a performance as possible, but oh no, it wasn't the you two straight across. It's him and him. So, but you keep performing, and you eventually stop or stopped, and then you just remained at port, and that's good. That's honestly that's the best thing to do is stay at port, and then actually he's got a piece of his sling uh, that's come loose. So, and the impact of all of that, this work, and then coming to this position for the report out, it works really well. It just really stinks that you've got and see his application here. I think that's what you want to do. If you have a sling come undone, and you can't just drop it somewhere, throw it off to the side, which, you know, the top is looped through, so having that come off, that'll happen in colors, but probably not the drill team. But the bottom piece, the quick change clip, that's pretty strange having that come loose. Anyway, you want to stay at port, but instead of just having that down there, then tape. Now that was an interesting way to reform. Appreciate that very much. That was great. I want to watch that again. Holy cow. He marches forward, comes into the second rank. So instead of leaving these two to try and catch up, since they're so far back in the other side of the V, that works really well. So instead of doing that, what you might want to do, instead of everybody marching forward, what you might want to do is, so here's Commander and here's these three. What you three over here might want to do is come over like this. Commander, you march to the front so that he falls in here. Just move over this way. These two move over as Commander is here, and then you come to here while these three are moving over. Uh, uh, these two are coming up right behind these two with Commander moving over. He's moving into the secondary spot here in that front rank, and then the other three here are moving over. So you have kind of, forgive my hands, but you have kind of this movement happening, and you count your steps, how many ever steps it takes to get here. Let's say it's 10 steps, nice heel slam right into the floor, and you all step off in formation instead of having everybody try and catch up. But that was really effective all throughout the performance. That really worked quite well in every aspect except the cordon, but everything else, good designing. That really was very well designed. I appreciate the rifle work. There can be a little more rifle work instead of, you know, from the line to the cordon, but it doesn't have to be anything ornate. It can just be something simple, and to give the audience the performance effect throughout the whole routine. That was nicely done, team. Really nicely done. Thank you so much for the critique request. I appreciate it.